Actually, I want to see if I can find that blocked passage. You venture through a doorway into a dim passage. The air is still and misty. Okay, the mass of stone and debris looks unstable. The floor here slopes down the passage, however. Were you able to loosen the pile, the debris would probably roll away from you. Okay. You wedge your pry ball against a large stone, put all your weight into it. Your efforts dislodge the boulder and rolls free with a heavy groan. Other slabs and chunks of debris break away. The massive pile creaks and rumbles, finally tumbling harmlessly away down the passage. Okay. Light breaks into the tunnel ahead, growing brighter as you continue. Soon the passage ends, opening up on the shores of the burial isle. Okay, right. Alright. And we great. Found that passage and lost the pry bar. Okay, let's make the descent. A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Wodica. Didn't notice the statue. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so, you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it raises goose flesh along your arms. The wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. As you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. I want to see the statue. It is a Wodica, sitting in judgment. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Let's make our descent. We'll jump into the pit. You jump, trusting the promises of the gods and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. Sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, casing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can still feel that you're falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting towards the wall. Pelagina falls with you for a moment, but seems oddly buoyant during her slow descent. Feathers fluttering silently along her arms and sides of her face. Suddenly, her golden eyes grow wide and shouts, "Look out, Evilar, the wall!" Take control of the souls to guide your safety, concentrating your focus on the essence around you and knit it together in your mind. What was a jumble of souls before becomes a single entity, coordinated and purposeful, steers you to safety at the center of the pit. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, steadying your position and the rate of your descent. You reach the court of the penitents, millennia-old stones safely under your feet. No, we're going to keep it at the same level. I'm not going to be penalized.
Your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
There we have it.
Well, that went better than I expected. Everyone all right? No shattered knees? Good. Just me, then.
This place is cursed.
Yeah. Whew. Well done. Okay, let's head in.
Light, flame, and sound.
Let's be careful.
We'll keep to ourselves. I see something.
Lovely.
It's finished.
Millennia's worth of dust fills in the cracks, crevices of the skeletal relief. Right.
I see something.
Undo it. I do not want to trigger this trap.
I'm ready.
It's finished.
Got a free shot in on us, huh? You run off to. You run off to.
I'm ready.
Let's move this one.
That's it!
I'm gonna call its name inside. Run through. Hit him with that hammer. Fool now. I guess we don't do that. Trying to go toe to toe with us. The fool trying to go toe to toe with us. The fool's trying to go toe to toe with us. Wow. Pill tugs at your essence. Pulse in the world itself moves through it.
As you wish.
Keeping an eye out.
Trying. Kind of caught me flat-footed. Okay, Aloth. Let's see here. Lightning. Lightning is the ticket for these. Target destroyed. He has the sword of Saint Widwin. Destroy him.
So much.
Trying to kill that thing. No one down. Anything left?
That's not very helpful.
So much.
We sent them back to the wheel. Loose it from this hell they were in. The ancient Adra still bears the impressions of the 1,000 souls broken upon it. Your soul burns with the remembered suffering.
As you wish.
Keeping an eye out.
I see something.
craft stocking boots. Daybreak, a unique morning star. Daybreak was the product of the careful engineering of an animaster for Solace Vale. Hoping to create a defense against the blights and phantoms that often plague neighboring villages. Ooh, it has destroyed spirits that often plague. He developed a morning star that was especially effective against such nightmarish beings. Unfortunately, he died before he could make more. Even though he had no involvement in an early experience with the Hollowborn, he was murdered by one of the many lynch mobs that formed after the appearance of the first witches. Okay, let's give Grieving Mother that. Let's see, where is it? Ooh, I do like carrying a little saber though. Alright, keep in mind. Okay.
This one repels me.
What else in there?
Hey. That's...
Come back here.
not very helpful.
Okay, let's see now.
That's it!
Oh, all out of order.
That's it!
He's melting over there. Well, that
As
was
you
not
wish.
the way I wanted that to go. Yikes.
Your thoughts must flow deep.
Alright, who's the editor? Oh, it's me. Actually, no. Keep attacking that one. Oh, don't know. Editor, can you get by? Alright, good. Editor just going to stand there. Okay, now, and Aloth can use his concussive missiles. He can use his dragon breath. Okay. Hmm. Let's see here.
I'm the Ado who do not feel sharpest.
How'd you get stunned? Okay. I'm not sure if you
Hey.
cast that dragon buff or not, Edward. So.
I'm ready.
Hey, hey.
Explosive death. Well done, Pelagina.
As you wish. Laying low.
Pillar tugs at your essence. Pulls from the world itself moves through it. Pellegrina. Pellegrina! Cutting through the fray. Well done, grieving mother. Give him a little burning.
That's not help. Not.
Keep cutting through him, Pellegrina.
I'm ready. Feels sharpest. My mind feels sharpest.
Bones loose. Grants holy power. Wow. I didn't know I have grants holy as holy power. Kill 10 vessels. Oh, be revived during combat 5 times. So she has to die or be knocked out. Kind wayfarers during the War of Black Trees. She was famous. Aptly rewarded to Pelagina then. She was famous for escorting colonists and farmers through the Darewood and protecting them from Glenfathan warbands. Though a skilled warrior, she avoided the Glenfathans when possible rather than fight them. However, tensions and tempers rose, and one day she found herself guiding a family of farmers from their ruined homestead. While she attempted to wait out the prowling raiders, one of her charges rushed into the fray. Wydwin forced to hold off the Glenfathans while the rest of the farmers fled. She died, outnumbered and surrounded, and it was said that even raiders who struck the killing blow wept for her. Sword passed to a warrior of the twice split arrows in honor of his bravery and skill during a ritual blood hunt. This was a moment of great pride for the tribe, typically regarded as least among the six. It was also a time of shifting borders and changing relations between Darewood and Eirglafant. Bolstered by the newfound prestige and eager to seize more, the Rio of the twice split arrows declared that their young hunter should lead a series of raids on slave-holding estates. First few were successful, but when the raiders set their sights on a village run by a guild of coopers, they were quickly overwhelmed. The hunter was killed and the sword lost. Okay, the sword is well made but modest in design. The lone flourish is a feathered pattern radiating from the hilt, and the evenness has been crafted with exquisite care. Each barb and shaft is smooth, a straight line between your fingers. Power and warmth radiate from this blade.
Of course.
All right. Just make sure there's
They
no
shall
traps.
see nothing while I see much.
Okay. Best come over here.
Where there's a pick, there's a way.
Hopefully it's not
It's
a trap.
finished.
Exceptional scale armor. Okay. Ivara. A column of Audra rises above you, stoic and silent. Its ridge layers a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in its core a dim flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. At your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away, and you are bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. Glow seems to fade as though you had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was, Ivara seeps into existence. An idyllic shade hovering above the most moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now. A slight stoop to her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There's a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
So my love returns to me at long last. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
It would seem I have unfinished business here.
I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted him from the cycle. He seeks to empower Wodica and to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Theos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life. Of you, of the Inquisition, of Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also.
Yes.
It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Ivara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows a look of pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of you, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
Pellegrina tilts her head back, laughing. Of course not. It all makes sense now.
I dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief. She's not serious.
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
That's close. I know you know Magrin intimately, but let us have her continue Darren's first.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Who created these gods? I don't think so, Ivara. I've seen the skull of Abaddon. He's an actual god that stopped a moon from hitting Aora. So, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone.
Now that's a possibility, but I don't think so, dear.
It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
So this is why you started your own faith.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
Okay. And how did you discover this?
The Nguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them. And in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Okay. Later, on after I left the order, a few Nguithan found my words persuasive and joined my cause. They revealed what I did not already know. Is it true what you taught?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Iovara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
But that's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not.
Okay.
What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
Forbidden knowledge rather than fault earned you.
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts?
Beads of sweat coalesced on Durance's forehead and trickled down the sides of his face in streaming rivulets, as though he were a block of ice standing before a great pyre.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life.
What if the cycle of birth and death is nothing more than a tool of endless preoccupation?
Endless preoccupation. The grieving mother returns Ivar's gaze, nodding her head almost imperceptibly. For a moment, all is silent. Ivar nods back, seemingly moved by some unspoken understanding. You feel the weight of Ivar's translucent eyes upon your soul. What if we can be assured of nothing? Then we best build our own strength so we can bear it.
It's the trials, Watcher, that make us what we are. Have I not always said so?
Yet strength is not given, but earned, and always in proportion to its cost. What will you sacrifice for yours, and who will pay the toll? I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
We do, even without reassurances. There's still truth.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures, and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt trace her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
As she asks, the memory springs to your mind immediately as though it had just happened. I wanted to please the gods.
So you never doubted, despite everything I'd told you? Or perhaps you accepted what I told you, but wanted to please them anyway. Either way is better.
Then what? I needed to know it wasn't because after everything you learned, you'd still rather believe in a lie. Right? If that is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, then my purpose has been a mistake. That seems a harsh connection to draw.
Of all that I loved you for, it was your righteousness most of all. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
You're never going to be able to convince everyone of anything, true or not. Not everyone. There will always be dissent.
I expected dissent, but I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
I see the world differently now than I once did. I regret what I did to you and wish your forgiveness.
I have always forgiven you. Though I didn't know your reason, I knew you. I knew we had had something wonderful once. Looking back at that has helped me through these many years. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish. But now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
Are you bound here until the end of time?
In a matter of speaking. This is Breath Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the side of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
The other gods aided me because they want Theos destroyed. I owe them no debt.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Why don't you repent? You can be free of this place.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life. But that trial was my one moment of certainty. Even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
This place, Sun and Shadow, what is it? I can tell you what I believe, but again, it would be no proof. I have only what I have seen and what others have told me about it. There's only one man who can tell you now, who knows it to a certainty, shall face him soon enough. I will leave you to see it for yourself, make your own judgment. Better for your own soul that way. How is it that you speak Yadiran? I speak no language now but the wordless expression of the spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw you upon your words and form them as your own. Do you know what it is I need from Theos?
I could not say for sure, but you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
Why has Theos done all this?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
How can I get Theos to tell me what I need to know, Iavara?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
Then it's time for me to go, my love. Farewell, Iavara.
Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
Off camera, I can't deliver this line. It's terrible. Okay. The gods have given me the souls of their forgiven, Iavara. If you repent, you could join with them. Help me strike the final blow against Theos.
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
And your defiance here isn't an illusion. You're still a slave to these gods, bound to the rules stuck in their system. Your continued existence is proof of the gods' dominion over all of us. You know it's a bond now, one that has always been an interleaving. Of our essence with yours at the extremities of your perception. You are tied to this woman's spirit, and you can feel measure control over it, as though you are its shepherd. What are you suggesting? I can disintegrate your soul, make you cease to exist. Then I would be no different than the other souls gods have broken in this place. I do not wish to stop fighting them. I know you do not, but you remain here not for the gods, but in some hope of some affirmation of your faith. You are afraid you were wrong. For a long time, Iavara says nothing. Looking at her now, as she stares off, the fatigue is unmistakable, as though her life has been some dream from long ago, and her imprisonment a day without end. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps there is a way to end this on my terms. She looks at you.
I am grateful you came and found me here, no matter the circumstances. You're not exactly who you once were, I have to remind myself. But seeing you one last time, and remembering what we shared, brief as it was better than anything I dared hope for in this place. I suppose I have waited long enough, and I do not wish to delay you any further. Come, let's be done with this once and for all. I am ready.
Farewell, Evilar. In your mind's eye, Evilar's soul becomes a doll of parchment. Your focus flies towards the doll and waves of sparks that gather in clusters at its feet. You push harder, and the sparks engorge, dancing upward as flames that climb the base of the doll, curling it, peeling back the woven fibers, and turning a luminescent orange before fading them to purest black. The doll seems to hang there a moment as the last of the parchment is consumed by the last of the flame, leaving only a few tenuously connected strands to hold together its shape, like some intricate work of lace. Evilar tips her head slightly to you, and with that last strands give way, coming apart as particles of ash that were scattered, carried on some invisible breeze into the nothingness beyond. She is gone. That was terrible. Wow. So from that encounter, I received...
What is it?
steps to the wheel. The watcher gives his or her foe a glimpse into the afterlife by displacing their souls, momentarily paralyzing them and leaving them sickened. Wow. Paralyzed for 3.5 seconds.
As
All right.
you wish.
So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I gotta talk to them.
Yes? Indeed.
Come over here and talk to me.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
I agree. It is an outrage. There's no excuse for misleading people like this.
You're right. People will be better off finding direction on their own than following this farce. Besides, the gods haven't exactly done much to prevent us from slaughtering each other. If anything, they've only given us more pretenses for doing so.
The slaughter seems to come whether there's a god involved or not. If it wasn't a god justifying it, it'd be some other thing.
I've also been thinking. There won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the leaden key headless. Perhaps it's best it stays that way.
I agree.
Then let's face Theos. When this is all over, I'll make sure that no one is able to commit his abuses again.
Alright. And then let's talk to Erik.
Hey.
You might as well come over, let's talk.
Well, doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the Raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
Well, it was their god who made them believe they were right. I doubt they'd fought if they knew he was fallible.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded.
Looks down at the ground, drumming his fingers against the side breathlessly. When he speaks again, it seems half to himself.
I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
Mm-hmm. What was it about?
About him going off to war. He was set on it. But my parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. Me? I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one. I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
You think he went to Widewind because of what you said to him?
Crossed my mind. You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about. I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
So if you left with him, you've known why he changed his mind.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bother thinking about it. He asked me to trust him the day he left. Said if I went with him, he'd make sure we were on the right path. And he deserved that. He deserved that trust from me. Raid Saris is a long way to walk on your own. I think I'd have liked to have been there with him on that journey. Even knowing how it ended.
I can understand that. Okay. Well, let's be on our way, Erik.
Still one more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on, then. I still owe you one.
Thanks. All right. Let's go. Search for Theos. Here we are. At the end of our journey, everyone.
I can't see much, but I hear a noise like a pig choking on wet feed. So, I guess Durance is breathing, at least. Full of surprises, aren't you?
Many spirits stir here, edged with anger, violence.
We light our own path now, Watcher.
Can you do that again? I had something in my eye. Missed most of it.
No, we've set the spirits free, and that's all there is to that. They're free. Let's go. Forward.
Hey.
That was beautiful, Pelagina. Do it again. Do it again.
That's it! My power is there.
This is what you'll be getting, Theos. This and much more. When we come for you.
As you wish.
Dragons. Those spore souls. Let's see here. How do we get out? How do we get down? Shadow Drake. Oh, hello. Ah, darn it. I wish I could take out Drake Bell and hit you with it. It's a little late for for that, isn't it? Okay. Well, this is gonna be a. When I put you on the wheel, you'll never come off that wheel, Drake. No, no, he's gonna try to use his fear. Okay.
How bad?
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, Pelagina, we've got just the ticket for you. Well, that did him. Okay, now. I'm going to attack him. Switch weapons. Weapon sets. I hope right. Okay, little savers coming out. Okay, Durance, we have a little. Bit of nonsense happening to Pelagina.
The next boss.
Duh. Nice work, Adder. Um. Okay, Alof, let's see here. So I'll do them nicely. Try to use a spear on Eddard, I see. Let that thing fly. Alright. Oh, these are spirits. It doesn't do damage to spirits. But this will do some damage to them. Alright. Let's see, Great Mother. Let's go ahead and... Spell King talking about. You're alright, you're alright. Keep hitting it. There's nothing stronger. You're wielding one of the most powerful swords in existence. You want something stronger? Talk to one of these false gods they have here. Right. Was that about not being strong enough? Okay. All right. Thing trying to get away. He's trying to run off from Eder. Alright, why don't we give Eder a hand here, Alof? He's trying to take off. He's really about to take off when I hit him with this. Whop the living crap out of us. Where the hell is Eder going? I'm about to give him a taste of the wheel. What's that chewing on this thing? Eder killed the Shadow Drake. He's nothing but a shadow. What a shame. Okay.
As you wish.
shadows in the cavern suddenly lengthen and swallow you. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You are surrounded by mists. The ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as soon as you take a step, the soil behind you will erase all trace of your passage. As if on cue, the mists before you clear just enough for you to take a couple steps forward. You do, and the fog closes behind you. You continue for several minutes in this manner, one step at a time, never seeing more than the ground right in front of you. Eventually, rays of light cut through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. Durrance's head twitches as though a mosquito has flown into his ear. He swings haphazardly at the air with his staff. Something whizzes past your head. Just as you turn, you catch another whir movement. Out of the mist flits a shape, small and round. You think you see another, and another. They tickle the corner of your vision. You turn back to the canyon wall. The sun shifts along its path, and what looked like a smooth rock face is the hollow of a cave. A figure steps out, its features shifting and changing before your eyes. Wael, the figure transformed from male to female, from Orlin to Mua, its bones lengthening, its fur receding into its flesh. The only detail that remains constant is that smooth, eyeless face. The whizzing, rushing shapes from the mist converge on that figure. And as they form a spinning cloud, you realize that they are eyes.
Your very past is a mystery. You bury it deep, reinventing yourself with each new path. You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. And following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
What are you talking about? Wael giggles, a strangely modulated sound that rises and falls as the god shifts from one form to the next. You seek and search while your foe obscures. And even your quest for answers to your past has only led you to another mystery, and one grander still. My goal now is to see to the souls Deus has trapped. Yes, but what would you do with them?
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Woodika's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
According to Hyalea, it's possible to restore them to the Hollowborn.
A song the world knows and tires of. The droning chorus repeated again and again. Better the improvised melody, the unfolding chant. The listeners sit rapt, and just when they think they have the tune, it changes again. Even the gods require fresh mysteries.
Wael folds its hands, grinning at you with Orlin's needle-sharp teeth. The clouds break, and a torrent of rain washes Wael's features clean. His blank face molds itself again, taking on the shape of something you've never seen before. Do not consign the souls to the fate of some god's choosing. You have found them. Now scatter them across existence, the destination known to neither god nor mortal. Let them be lost again. New answers to new riddles. Behind him, the sudden downpour has carved new caves into the canyon. What would happen to the soul?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
What would that serve?
No end, Watcher. That is the purpose.
No. Farewell, Wael.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would choose.
Shadows from the new caves melt and spread across the landscape, covering you in darkness. When the light returns, the vision is gone. Final step.